A very strange kind of persecution is taking place.
Parents who homeschool their children are being put in jail and the children taken into state custody. Dale Hurd has that story from Nuremberg.
Germany's tiny homeschooling community is in trouble. More and more parents have been sent to jail. Children have been taken into state custody, and more families have left Germany. Klaus and Catherine Landau fled to England after they were tipped off that authorities were going to take custody of their kids. The Gorber family in southern Germany have had 6 of their children taken from them by the state, and Jorgen and Rosemarie Dudek each face 3-month jail terms and are economically ruined from heavy fines. But there are only about 400 homeschooling families left in Germany now, and the experts we talked to say the movement is in danger of being crushed. The German government seems to have embarked on an eradication program. The homeschooling experts we talked to think the government wants to wipe out the small homeschooling movement here before it can become popular like it has in the United States.
The movement had been growing up until about 2 or 3 years ago. And what you're having now is legitimate full-blown persecution.
Attorney Joel Thornton's International Human Rights Group represents some of the German homeschoolers in court.
They're trying to eradicate this movement before it can gain traction and become a popular movement like it has in America.
Attorney Johannes Hildebrandt, who also represents homeschoolers, says the movement is at a critical point.
In the courts, it is in danger. Homeschooling is very strange for German people. They have no experience with this kind of education.
The German government line against homeschooling is that the public has a legitimate interest in countering the rise of parallel societies that are based on religion or motivated by different worldviews, and in integrating minorities into the population as a whole. On the train from Dresden to Leipzig, I spoke with German academic Klaus Gunther, who is also an American citizen and was homeschooled.
Germany does not want the kind of citizens that homeschooling produces. They've seen how the homeschool movement in the U.S. developed, and they're very keen on preventing that from happening here.
How many was you right there? Yes, so right too.
The Germans don't even want non-Germans homeschooling in Germany. American missionaries CLINT and Susan Robinson moved their family to Germany only to have their visa application turned down because they homeschool. They now have to leave the country and are looking to move to Austria, which allows homeschooling.
What we're trying to do is get a house just across the border, so we're actually living in Austria, and that's where our visa comes from, and so the government can't control us with the homeschooling.
We left our home country. We came over here, and God supplied this house and the environment and just everything, and then they're saying, no, you can't stay, you have to leave. It's hard.
And at the same time that the German government is persecuting homeschoolers in Germany, including Americans who want to homeschool, Berlin encourages its diplomats abroad, including its diplomats in Washington, to homeschool their children with a state homeschooling curriculum.
Their officials are actually encouraged to homeschool and not put their children into American schools and into foreign schools.
A lot of American Christians would have good reason not to want their kids subjected to German state schools. The sex ed curriculum is often pornographic, even for young ages, and the occult is often celebrated.
I know of schools right in our area where it's not just mixed swimming, but it's mixed showering after the swim class is over, and mixed locker rooms, and then they leave and go to the next class.
German homeschooler Heiko Crowder told us it would be a sin for him to put his children in a German state school.
These things in the school, in the official state school, they destroy the children. And we teach the children in the things of God, and the people in the state school teach the children in other things against God.
Crowder fled Germany after this interview and took his family to Norway. Thornton believes Germany's war on homeschooling is just a part of Europe's war against Christianity.
This is a battle to eradicate spiritual life from every person in Europe. And it's a battle to eradicate spirituality and Christianity from the culture.
And the victims in this battle are the